In this tutorial, I'll show you how to create animated 3D text inspired by Doctor Who using BCC 9 and DaVinci Resolve. Hi, here I am in DaVinci Resolve, and this is the finished product of the tutorial series here. Opening sequence inspired by the show Doctor Who. In this tutorial, I'm just going to show you how to do the text part. In another one, I will show you part of the background elements. Okay, so here I am in Resolve, and there's nothing going on except a compound clip made from a generator. So there's really nothing going on here. So let's get started and create some 3D text. The text filters are located in the Boris Continuum Complete BCC 3D Objects category. As you can see, these 5 filters right here. I'm going to use Type On Text for this effect. So when I apply it, it asks me to launch the text window, which is located in the settings pane here. So this is the text window where you can type anything you want. I'm just going to type the text. The font I'm using is actually a Doctor Who font. You can, of course, use any font you want in this text editor. It's fully fledged out. You can change the font, size, kerning, leading, justification, even text wrap, and change the fill style. Maybe give it a border, but no fill. But anyway, so there's a lot you can do here. And for this tutorial, I only needed to create the text. I didn't have to do anything fancy. Alright, so I'm going to hit apply. Okay, so here's my 3D text. And what I want to do is set up an animation. So being Type On Text, I'm going to find the checkbox that says Do Reveal. Let's keep scrolling down. Here it is. So Do Reveal Effect, I'm going to enable that. And I have all these parameters here, like scale, fade, position, etc. If I change any one of them, like say I set fade to 0, you'll notice some of the text goes away. Well, what that's doing is it's auto-animating the text from a fade of 0 to a fade of 100. So if I'm keeping in line with the show, I'm going to start with the fade of 0, and I'm going to push my letters back in Z space so they appear to fly on. And you can see how they come on very nicely, one at a time there. If you want to change the reveal order, we have a drop-down menu here. You can reverse it, or I'm going to use random. Make sure you increase the random seed so you get a nice jumble of letters coming at you. Looks good. I also want to increase the overlap. Now that's going to make the letters stay closer together in time and space. You can see how now they kind of stick together. And also I want to decrease the reveal time so the whole transition just happens faster. So the reveal time is a percentage of your clip length if you need to measure it out. And that looks good. Alright, now let's have the text go away. So right under Do Reveal is the Do Remove group. Again, same exact controls and same idea. So we're going to increase the overlap, and we're going to push the letters at us in Z space. Of course, this time they're going negative, but same direction. And a few other things to do differently this time. I'm going to change the animation from linear to accelerate. And I'm not going to do a fade, but I am going to change the remove order again to random, increase the seed, and maybe increase the reveal time as well. That way the letters will stay on the screen longer before they start doing the animation, like so. Okay, so that's pretty much all I had to do for the animation. There's a lot more you can do here. You can rotate them, you can scale them, but I think you get the idea. Alright, now let me make the text look better than just default gray. We have a lot of presets that come with this filter. Presets for animation, which you see here at the top level, but also presets for the materials. And those come at a lot of different places. You have extrusion styles, which give you totally different looks for the bevel, the extrusion, the texture map, and reflections. Or you have just the material presets, which won't change your extrusion or bevel settings, but will change your texture maps and reflections. Okay, so what I want to do is load the extrusion style called Metal Side Ridges, because this one actually looks a lot like the one they use on Doctor Who, so that's pretty convenient. I am going to tweak it a little bit. So you have all these extrusion controls. I'm going to change the bevel style from saved preset to straight, and I'm going to change the bevel amount down to like 0.2, and I'm going to increase the extrusion depth to about 5. And this is all as you like it. Of course, we even have presets for different bevel styles and different extrusion styles, so you're not limited to text that goes straight back. For example, if I load one of the saved presets, such as dent, you see a very different look there. Or embossed, very different there too. So you have a lot of options right off the bat, even without knowing how to use the filter. Anyway, let's now change the material just a little bit. I'm going to change the diffuse color, give it more of a blue, and that looks better. And then I'm going to come down to the side material, and I'm going to change the reflection matte being used there. I'm going to use the one called Shallow Water, increase the reflectivity, decrease the reflectivity scale. Okay, looking good so far. So we've got our animation, we have our text looking like we want to in terms of materials. So we could do a lot more with lighting and bevel styles and bump maps and stuff, but we've done enough so far. What I do want to do though is increase the render quality. So to do that, there's a couple different ways. First of all, we can increase the polygon count. It goes up to 80. I'm just going to use 45. You also have anti-aliasing controls, which I'm going to leave alone. You can also smooth the edges if you think the edges look a little bit jagged or something. And lastly, the motion blur. So I'm going to use a motion blur since it is text in motion. And I'm just going to increase the shutter angle to get a bigger blur there. And the smoothness, I'm going to turn down to medium. One last thing I'm going to do to this text, I'm going to make sure it has an alpha transparency to it. So I'm going to create an alpha output node, going to connect the filter to it, and then I'm going to right click on my thumbnail here and say use OFX alpha. So now you can see I do have an alpha background, and if I put something under it, it will appear. Not that this is the background I had before, but you get the idea. Okay, so there you have part 1 of this effect, just setting up the 3D text with the animation. To see more tutorials on Resolve or other products, visit our website at borisfx.com.